Here is our boy Oliver. He is a typical assassin that just jumps in, kills the targets, and hide all the fame and all the accomplishments. Yeah, this is our boy as our character Oliver, a typical assassin. So people have been saying that Oliver is free to players like Illustrial because he gets the Langrisser skill, basically allows him to travel in mountain and wall area without having the reduction on mobility. But sometimes Oliver can be even stronger than Illustrial. One of the reasons is actually because this Langrisser skill also provides you extra attack when you are standing on wall, mountain or forest. So if you are standing on wall, you actually get 30% extra attack. This is why I can kill that Basil with faction buff and without even having any crit. Our Oliver, yeah, our boy Oliver just killed that Basil with Skeleton Knight. This is why Oliver is very strong. This Oliver here is only 5-star, so he has even the potential to become stronger. The talent here is gonna increase at 6-star. And also, my Oliver does not have any defense bound, so his power here is pretty low, but already good enough to kill a Basil with faction buff carrying Skeleton Knight. Yeah, this is just pretty amazing. So for Oliver, I do think he's a character that's worth your build. If you don't have Hihei or Illustrial, so you really meet some good assassins, then Oliver is definitely one of the characters for you to build. If you are a beginner who just play the game, you can get free Oliver from the story mode, and his faction is really good. So if you are like if you just started playing this game, you get the free Glory faction buff from Grenier, right? And you have the starter banner which will have Elven. So Elven and Grenier can both call faction buff for Oliver, so which is pretty good. There will be a lot of chance to pull Zoreda later. So if you summon Zoreda, that's even a better faction buff for Oliver. And he's just a very strong character for PvE as well, cause in PvE you will have a lot of maps where you have forest and mountains, and he just yeah, he's just a beast on this kind of maps. So Legend is not very good for beginners already, because Legend characters are kind of phased out. There will not be many good Legend characters in the future. So this kind of Legend faction buff for beginners will be hard to get for Oliver. But yeah, at least the Glory and Meteor is pretty good. And yeah, and I'm very serious about Oliver's performance. Even you are not a beginner, you are a free-to-play player, or even you are well, building Oliver is still a decent choice. Sometimes you can, yeah, like Oliver can just surprise you, especially if you are playing PvP on a wall map. Bringing Oliver is always one extra threat for your opponent to consider. So the build for Oliver here, this is totally wrong. So when I was trying to prepare the match, I don't have extra grid sites. This is why I'm using the rough sea site. So Oliver has a huge amount of kill potential. The troop here is getting 30% modifier, and also this Heaven's Guard, yeah, like compared to other assassins who can only use bandit, you can see these soldiers, the troops here, is just going to be much stronger. And also, if you are using Heaven's Guard, you are moving 5 tail before you're attacking, so your attack is further increased by 15%. This is just a very strong troop. This is why Oliver is never missing the kill potential. Remember, without crits, he kills that Basil with faction buff. This is just a very good. So you don't really need any increase in attack, or you know, any increase, maybe any increase in damage dealt is better, because Oliver don't have, you know, that many methods to increase the damage dealt. So even Meteor here will be better than the Rough Sea build, but still I think the best build for Oliver is going to be Breeze. So Oliver has one problem, is that his mobility is not very good. So he can move 5 and attacking from like 2 spells away if you are using Ultra spell with Heaven's Guard. So that's a total range of 7 like threatening range, which is not very low but not good enough, right? Zoreda will have 9 mobility. 9 spells of threatening range without triggering Breeze. So if you can have a Breeze for Oliver, then if Breeze is triggered, his threatening range is going to be improved a lot. So the recommended build for Oliver is going to use a Breeze enchant. And the gear is pretty standard. I don't recommend you to use any other gear. It has to be Ultrasoul. If you are using EMB here, then you can only melee attack your opponent, which Oliver sometimes may kill himself. You are just attacking melee. So Ultrasoul is always recommended, and Lacerite, a typical gear for all the assassins, King's Crown, typical gear for assassins. For accessory, you either use Longstar Armlet, or you can use the Twilight Star. So for me, I think for Oliver, he can kill through a lot of units with Lacerite already. So breaking Lacerite may not be needed, and sometimes, you know, if you are fighting against a Wailer, it is hard to break the Lacerite anyway. So I think Longstar Armlet is pretty good. But you can, but yeah, I still think maybe the best should be the Twilight, the Twilight Star, because that can basically secure your kill on character like Yusuke. Super easy kill with Oliver against the Yusuke. Yeah, just especially if the Yusuke is not using Bracer, basically he's dead if you are using the Twilight Star. Yeah, so both can be used, and I think Twilight Star is a little bit better, and of course you will need to use the Breeze. Gear for Oliver. So for the PVE content, you will always push with your tank, and Oliver can kill a lot of like infantry unit and mages easily. So he's just a very good assassin to have for PVE. For PVP, he's better be used as the backup box. So you will probably not use Oliver as your main box. I mean, you can if you are free to play. You don't have Alastrio, you don't have Hihei, you are missing a lot of assassin power. In that case, having Oliver in the box is actually really good, because otherwise you are missing a lot of assassins, and other player will just bully you with all the like mages like Rennie, even Lana, or like Xiaofonio. Yeah, like these kind of characters, because you don't have any assassin to kill them, so they can just use all the mages here. So having extra threatening with assassin is really good. If you don't have Hihei or Alastrio, maybe it is better for you to put Oliver as your main box. But even even you don't have any spot for Oliver for your main box, because you already have Hihei, Alastrio, you can still put Oliver for your backup box, right? Oliver is especially strong in certain maps in the Apex Arena. So if we go to the Apex Arena here, Oliver is pretty good. It's very good in windy outpost. Here a lot of mountain, a lot of walls, and a lot of the forest tail as well. He's also very good in the double bridge here. Yeah, this map is very good for Oliver. This map is okay for Oliver. There are a couple of mountain area and also forest tail. So those are the maps you can actually switch in Oliver. Even you are not a free-to-play player, you spend a lot in the game. You have everything. You have the Hihei, you have Alastrio. Then putting Oliver in this box, like countering some players who is super heavy, like debuff or mage focused, it is still a pretty good idea. Like you already see the kill power of Oliver. I mean, Oliver is definitely having a much higher kill power compared to Alastrio, just because the Ninjutsu skill. Yeah, very strong character. So for Apex Arena, a good character for like backup box, or a character you can use in main box. Then if you don't have the Hihei and Alastrio, and for beginners and like for players who still doing the like story push or the time rift, Oliver is still decent characters to pick up. He is in a Glory faction, which is basically the newbie friendly faction. He's also in Mithril faction, which is always a strong faction for PvE content. And he's also in the Legend faction. So if you have land use, I mean land use is hard to pull right now, but yeah, if you do have land use, then using Oliver will not be bad as well. So this is just our boy Oliver. For the skill to use, you will use yeah. So you always use Langrisser in the map where there is mountain and forest. So and then for PVE content, you can use this skill set. So those skill will deal more damage. For PvP, you can use this skill instead. So after you kill something, you can also, if your Oliver is not getting killed, then this skill is a good skill to steal buffs. You can steal up to 3 buffs from the opponent if you didn't kill your opponent. So this is pretty solid as well. If the map does not have any mountain area or forest tail, then you can also bring this skill. So when you're initiating a battle, you increase the crit chance, and then damage taken is going to be decreased by 20%, which is pretty good. Sometimes when your Oliver just like your objective for Oliver is just one thing. You just want to kill that one character. For example, in my clip earlier, I just want my Oliver to kill that Basil. So I also used the move again skill. This move again skill actually increase your damage dealt by 10%. Remember when we are talking about Oliver, he's missing a lot of like damage increase. So if you can have King's Crown, if you can have some damage increase on Oliver, he's going to do a lot more damage. But yeah, remember this move again skill also provides you 10% free damage, which is always good to pick up for Oliver. So this is just our boy Oliver. Although there is double land here, if you want to use him, I recommend you to master both lands, but definitely the final land that you are going to stay with is going to be this Sage Master here, right? Because this one is 5 mobility, which is like very few assassins has this 5 mobility here. So this is all about how to build and how to use Oliver. I hope more people can give our SR character some love. He's really a very solid SR character to use. His sister is going to come in the Chinese server soon, and his sister is going to be a healer with Gospel. So we will see if we can use that SR character as well. Okay, this is all about this video. See you guys later. Peace.